Abel Sanchez, the former longtime trainer of Gennady Golovkin, says that he was disappointed in Golovkin's performance against Canelo in their trilogy fight. To quote him here, he said, "I was disappointed by the efforts. It looked like one guy wasn't ready to fight and the other guy was glad. It didn't go as I thought it would go. I felt like Gennady's first 8 rounds were like hitting the mitts. It was like two friends sparring with one another. Canelo was throwing punches with bad intentions, and Gennady was not aggressive enough to try and win the fight. It seemed like at the beginning anyway, but not towards the end. It just seemed like he was happy to be there and not try to win, but go the 12 rounds and survive the 12 rounds. That's not Gennady to me. If he was 30 years old or 20 years old, okay. I could see it because he has a long career ahead of him. He's 40 years old. He's fighting at a weight where he's not putting the belts in danger. Nobody has ever hurt him in a fight. You try to win by being aggressive. If you run out of gas, you run out of gas. But the other guy is going to run out of gas too. He's in the same boat. Actually, I thought Canelo may have been breathing a little heavy towards the end of the fight. Imagine if Gennady had applied some pressure. Then he really would have run out of gas. Since we parted ways, he's tried to put on a different persona inside the ring, a different style, a different way of addressing every round. When we were together, we addressed every round. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't 12 rounds, and it wasn't what would happen in the end. I wanted to win every round and do whatever we could to win every round. It seemed like he was reacting to what Canelo was doing, and that wasn't the Gennady that I knew. If he doesn't want to do it, it doesn't matter what we say in the corner. Jonathan was trying to urge him, but you can only do in a fight what you did in the gym. It's not going to change his mind because he's only in tune to what he wants to do." Okay, those are the words of Abel Sanchez. Now, Sanchez doesn't seem very sympathetic with the fact that Golovkin, and he pretty much insinuated this, and I said this in my post-fight video, really fought to survive. Not like he wasn't doing anything to try and win, but he wasn't willing to put it all on the line to try and win. When it became apparent to him that Canelo was just the sharper guy and he was going to be able to hit him almost at will if he stood in the pocket, he decided, you know what? I'm just going to stay behind the jab. I'm going to try and keep myself safe. And if I give away rounds, well, I give away rounds. It is what it is. If I end up losing a fight, I lose the fight on points. Better that than getting knocked out at this stage of my career and at this age, at 40 years. That is what I got from watching Canelo Triple G3. An older fighter who had self-preservation in mind. Now, is it disappointing from the view of a boxing fan, a spectator, a viewer? Yeah, it's disappointing because you want to see an exciting fight. But I get where Gennady Golovkin is coming from. He's already been in those tough fights where he's taken the big shots and he's put it all on the line to try and win. He's taken all the punishment, you know? And one thing which I'm sure some of you already know, but I'm going to explain it for those who don't. Generally, there's always exceptions, but generally, pressure fighters don't tend to age as well as technical boxers because pressure fighters tend to take more punches. They tend to throw more punches, not just in fights, but in the gym. And it's a style which is more energy intensive. It requires more energy to be a pressure fighter than to be a technical boxer in most instances. And therefore, as you age and your energy levels start to decline, which tends to happen with most people, you're going to get hit more and you're not going to be able to throw as many shots if you're a pressure fighter. You see, that style doesn't age as well, generally, as a technical boxer. Most fighters who have success well on into their late 30s and 40s and what have you tend to be technical boxers, not pressure fighters. Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, even the likes of Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, etc., etc. Whereas with most pressure fighters, Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, etc., they tend to burn out a lot earlier for the reasons I've just explained. With Gennady Golovkin, he has decided, maybe he's recognized the fact that he's going to burn out as a pressure fighter. He can't do the things that he used to do when he was younger. He's decided, you know what? I'm going to turn into more of a boxer puncher, particularly when I'm fighting somebody the caliber of a Canelo Alvarez. Maybe you can still go in there and try to be the old Gennady against the Marathas of the world. And he still shipped a lot of punishment in the early rounds against Murata. But again, well, perhaps that reminded him that he wouldn't be able to fight like that against Canelo Alvarez, that Murata fight. So he's gone in there against Canelo thinking, okay, I need to fight with an age-appropriate style. I can't go in there like the old, the Gennady of old. I'm going to need to go in there with a little bit of Bernard Hopkins about me. But the thing is, in order to fight like a Hopkins or a Mayweather, I'm not saying he has to copy their style exactly, but, you know, take certain elements of what people like that, fighters like that do. You have to have practiced that for a long time, even in your young days, certain fights. Whereas Gennady Golovkin never really did. There was a couple fights where he was a bit technical, like against David Lemieux. But for the most part, as a pro, it's been full steam ahead pressure fighting from Gennady Golovkin. So anyway, I think that, yeah, he tried to just box Canelo Alvarez. And I think that's one of the reasons that he was trolling him in the lead up to the fight. He was hoping that Canelo would come out reckless so that he could catch him with counters maybe on the way in. It didn't work. Canelo wasn't reckless. He was just very sharp. So, yeah, long story short, I kind of sympathize with the style Golovkin came out with and the way he approached the fight. It was disappointing to watch, yes. Not particularly surprising from my perspective. I wasn't anticipating it would be a great fight. But I'm not so mad at Gennady, you know? He's given boxing so much for so many years. He's put it on the line so many times. Can't we give him a break at this stage? Does he still have to put it on the line at 40? Does he have to risk getting dropped or stopped for the first time in his career at 40? Some people are going to say, hey, he's getting paid $20 million. So yeah, he needs to put it on the line if he's getting paid that amount of money. But the thing is, he wasn't paid the $20 million for that fight alone. The value of Gennady Golovkin commercially is something that he's built up over a number of years. It's a brand that he's built up, right? So it's not just a one-off fight where he gets $20 million. No, it's part of his legacy. It's part of his how can I describe it? The trust that he's built up with the fans, the rapport that he's built up with the fans over the years has eventually led to him getting a $20 million purse. Now, people could say, well, he's disappointed a lot of fans with the way he fought in that fight. You know, so in the end, you know, the $20 million still leaves a sour taste in the fans' mouth. But not for me personally. I think we can cut this guy. Well, I'm going to cut the guy some slack because of what he's done previously in his career. And again, at 40 years of age, he can't fight the way he used to. He's not as robust as he used to be. We've never seen him hurt with a headshot. We've seen him hurt with a body shot against Derevyanchenko. And a lot of people think he lost that fight. So, yeah, it is what it is. I think Abel Sanchez is still a bit salty about the fact that Gennady left him. And I know he's trying to come across like he's being objective and whatever to some extent. Even regarding Jonathan Banks, I can't help but feel that Sanchez is trying to give off the impression in a subliminal way, subconscious way, that if Gennady had stayed with him, he would have had better results. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's what Abel Sanchez is trying to do. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about what Abel Sanchez said. He was disappointed in Golovkin's performance. And obviously he went through the things that he used to do with Gennady Golovkin, where they wouldn't look at a fight as a 12-round fight. they would break a fight up into 12 little fights. So every round is a fight, and we're trying to win every round. Not a situation where, okay, we'll give away this round and that round because we're going to catch him down the stretch. You know? So, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got an element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, is decentralized, and is 100% censorship free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.